Prepare to die. OuttaSpaceReviews! Welcome, Space Cadet, to another episode of OuttaSpaceReviews with your host Chris here as always. Today's episode is the China edition of the Mumeiken Kyomu. Ooh, exciting, exciting, exciting. Remember to like and subscribe because subscribing helps us grow, but also like this video if you enjoy the content that we produce for you. It really helps us out. I am dressed as Mamiya from the trio of Sin Kamen Rider Saber movie, but unfortunately this item doesn't transform into the form that he turns into. Trying to get a Bahato costume, like trying to find that coat, no thank you. So we're gonna do it like this in today's episode. Huh! Nope, no sword? Okay. Huh. The China edition of the Mumeiken Kyomu. That's pretty cool, as they all say. Look at the size, the sleekness of it. I love this. It is so cool. It is just a remodeling of the Holy Seiken that Saber, Blades, and Espada use, but there are just some key differences. As you can see here, the Wonder Ride book scanner is down over here instead of up here, because the DX item, which we can see here, only scans the fantasy books, not the animal and story books though. So that's why they had to move the button to meh. But let's compare the sizes of the big scale to the DX. Here it is, right here. So, as the Rider Toy website points out, the big scale item is about 230 times bigger than the DX. So you can see that difference right here. When this item gets released under the Japanese Holy Seiken series, it's going to be in a more metallic gold painting. So for it to have the DX colors is still pretty cool because it makes it look more accurate to what this is. So it's great for cosplay, as I've said in the Seiken Swordriver episode, and also in the Ankokuken Kurayami episode. But we don't want to compare, we actually do, but yeah. We want to see what sounds this item can do. We're going to compare this item to the Holy Seiken that Saber uses. It is the same mold, just where the button was placed is different. So yes, you can change the emblems, like so. There we go. Because the Kyomu emblem is the same as the Kaenken emblem, the Holy Seiken sword here will still be in Saber mode, so it won't change to the Sui Seiken or the Rai Meiken. Yes, you can put the Sui Seiken and Ukazuchi emblems on the Mumeiken, but it won't change the sounds. It's not programmed with additional modes on it, but it wobbles a bit, which is weird. The only problem is now it's really tight to remove the emblem. Let's go into the sounds that this sword makes. When you turn it on, it announces the name of the sword.
Mumeiken Kyomu.
As with the other China editions of the Saber swords, the first button press will be a sword slash followed by the transformation sounds. From that point onwards, you can just do sword slashing sounds like so. Then from there, you can do Wonder Ride book scans. Like previously, Wonder Ride books cannot physically scan onto this sword, so the China edition is only programmed for Eternal Phoenix. Now, with the Wonder Ride book scan, you can scan up to 3 times. It will announce if it's a 1, 2, or 3 scan attack. Now you can perform the Hisatsu Waza, but the only Hisatsu Waza that's programmed into this sword is when you put the sword back into the Haken blade driver. Now on the back, as you can see, because it is using the Seiken Swordriver mold, it has the button that is molded in and does nothing. Because in September, it's going to be released under the DaiSeiken sword line. Now with the Japanese edition, it will have 3 different transformation forms. So you'll be able to transform into Falchion, Eternal Phoenix, Falchion, Amazing Siren, and Kamen Rider Tassel. Now that will be exciting. And of course, this button will be relegated to the BGMs and voice lines, which is going to be pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, none of the actors from the Trio of Sin Saber movie, their voice lines will not be in it. Yes, you could transform into Falchion Amazing Siren, but he will not have any voice lines. He'll probably have attacks, which is cool. But you'll have voice lines from Bahato, Desat, and it's Tassel, but I think it's going to be more Dark Tassel voice lines. Of course, Dark Tassel was in the Kamen Rider Saber final stage, so that will be pretty cool. Now, unfortunately, this particular sword in the China edition was hard to get. It took me 2 years after it was released in China to get it. There was a place in Australia that was trying to sell it for 300 Australian, which is about, I think it's about 200 US. Here's how much it actually is. For a sword that only has a henshin, sword slash, 3 book scannings, and a Hisatsu Waza attack, it's not worth $300, especially when I paid about $250 for this sword with the other emblems and its other modes. To pay $50 extra for much less, no thank you. But you're getting a whole bunch more in the Japanese edition of the Mumeiken Kyomu. I definitely want one, and I recommend you grab one too, if you can. Pre-orders for this item has already ended as of recording of this video. It ended about 3 weeks ago. But if you're watching this video in the far future, it's been out for a while, so I highly recommend checking Mandarake. It might be there. It's probably going to be at least 20,000 yen. Just remember, shipping is where they get you. When I got this one shipped from Japan, it set me back $70 Australian to hold something like this instead of something like this. It feels great. It's amazing. Instead of just being like, I'm going to cosplay and be like, I poke you now. Because now you can just pull out your big sword and be like, it's great. Cosplaying or sword collecting, highly recommend. But if you want one with voice lines, get ready to save up for the Japanese edition of the Mumeiken Kyomu. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. Catch you later.